Every so often, something from the past doesn't just resurface, it reintroduces itself. You hear a song you haven't thought about in years, maybe decades, and suddenly it feels current again, not nostalgic, not retro, present. That's what's been happening with I Have the Touch by Peter Gabriel, a song released in 1982, now finding new life through a modern box office hit, landing in front of an audience that may not even know who Peter Gabriel is yet. And instead of letting that moment pass, Gabriel did something very on brand. He looked forward. For a lot of people, this resurgence feels surprising, but if you really understand Peter Gabriel, it makes perfect sense. His work has never lived comfortably in one era. It doesn't age the way most music does. It doesn't sit still. It waits. It reappears when the world catches up to the questions he was already asking. When I Have the Touch first came out, it wasn't chasing radio trends. It was tense, unsettling, physical, emotional. It was about human connection, control, vulnerability, and the strange intimacy of touch in an increasingly mechanized world. That might have sounded abstract back then. Today, it feels almost prophetic. That's why this moment matters, because this isn't just about a song being rediscovered, it's about an artist whose ideas are circling back at exactly the right time. And at 75 years old, Peter Gabriel isn't looking backward to celebrate his legacy. He's releasing new music that directly confronts the future. His upcoming album, Ori, is a follow up to his 2023 release, I.O. And just like that project, it isn't being dropped all at once. It's being released slowly, intentionally, with new songs arriving on each full moon over the next year, alternate dark side and bright side mixes tied to the lunar cycle. This isn't a marketing gimmick, it's a philosophy. Gabriel has always believed that how music is released matters just as much as what it says. He resists speed, he resists disposability, he resists the idea that art should be consumed instantly and forgotten just as fast. In a world dominated by algorithms and endless scrolling, he's asking people to wait, to sit with something, to experience it over time. And that alone makes this project feel radical. But the bigger reason this matters is what he's talking about. Gabriel has openly said this album is shaped by how he sees the future unfolding: artificial intelligence, quantum computing, the merging of human brains and machines, not as science fiction, but as reality that's already forming around us. This is where his work has always lived, at the intersection of humanity and technology, emotion and machinery, fear and curiosity. Long before these conversations were mainstream, Peter Gabriel was asking what happens when progress moves faster than our ability to emotionally process it. For my generation, Gabriel's music felt different from the start. It wasn't trying to be cool, it wasn't trying to dominate charts. It felt serious without being cold, thoughtful without being distant. His videos didn't just promote songs, they challenged viewers, they unsettled them, they stayed with you. That's why MTV embraced him so heavily in its early days. His work fit the idea that music could be visual, conceptual, and emotionally complex. It didn't just entertain, it provoked. Now, decades later, that same instinct is driving him forward again. There's something powerful about an artist who refuses to freeze themselves in time. Many artists eventually become museums of their own past: greatest hits tours, anniversary releases, comfortable nostalgia. Peter Gabriel doesn't seem interested in that. He's still asking uncomfortable questions, still experimenting, still evolving, and that matters right now. We're living in a moment where technology is advancing faster than our cultural conversation around it. AI is writing, creating, mimicking, replacing. People are debating what's real, what's authentic, what's human. Gabriel isn't shouting answers, he's holding up a mirror. He's reminding us that artists have a role beyond entertainment, to look into the fog ahead, to sense what's coming, and to reflect it back to society in a way that makes us pause. That idea alone feels almost old fashioned now, but it's also exactly what's missing. The resurgence of I Have the Touch isn't just about rediscovering an old track, it's about realizing how much of its message never left. Touch, control, power, intimacy, technology, identity. These themes didn't belong to 1982. They belong to now, and maybe that's why younger audiences are connecting with it without context. They don't hear it as an 80s song, they hear it as something current, something relevant, something unsettling in the right way. That's the mark of work that lasts. Peter Gabriel's announcement doesn't feel like a comeback. It feels like continuity, like a conversation he never stopped having, just waiting for the world to catch up again. In a culture obsessed with what's next, it's easy to dismiss artists from earlier generations as finished stories, but moments like this remind us that relevance isn't about age. It's about perspective, curiosity, willingness to engage with the unknown. At 75, Gabriel isn't slowing down, he's zooming out, looking ahead, asking what kind of future we're building and what it means for the human experience. And maybe that's why this moment feels bigger than a song in a movie or an album announcement. It feels like a reminder that some artists don't belong to a decade. They belong to moments of transition. And right now, we're in one of the biggest transitions there is.